Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Sean Ferns, Chief of Community Outreach and Prevention Support here at DEA, and I'd like to welcome you to DEA's 2017 National Red Ribbon Rally. The annual Red Ribbon Week observances around the country remind us of the continued need to educate America's youth about the dangers of drug abuse and the misuse of prescription drugs. Red Ribbon Week brings focus and attention to the importance of our collective and ongoing drug prevention, education, and awareness efforts. Especially for those of us at DEA, this is a time to reflect on the sacrifice made by Special Agent Kiki Camarena and redouble our commitment to stopping the drug dealers operating on America's streets. But this is also a time for hope, to build for the future. Red Ribbon is about helping kids make informed choices. It's a time for all of us to come together and start a dialogue with youth and young adults across the country about the dangers of drug abuse. Our master of ceremonies for today's program is Larry Smith. Larry is a veteran broadcast journalist who anchors Good Morning Washington weekday mornings on WJLA television, ABC Channel 7, and on News Channel 8. Prior to coming to Good Morning Washington, Larry spent more than 20 years as a sports anchor for CNN and Turner Sports. Larry has covered more than 60 major championships worldwide, including a dozen Final Fours, 6 Super Bowls, the Masters, the Olympics, the World Series, just to name a few. An avid golfer, Larry hosts a celebrity golf tournament in his hometown of Mattoon, Illinois, to raise money for scholarships for deserving high school graduates. Larry is a distinguished alumni award recipient at Lakeland College and Eastern Illinois University. Please join me in welcoming Larry Smith to the stage.
Good morning. Everyone awake this morning? If not, I've got some B12. That's my secret every day at 4 a.m. So for everyone who watched this morning, thank you. For those who watch and watch me knock on the glass, the funny story, everywhere I go, someone talks about the little thing we do right at 7 o'clock before Good Morning America comes on, reminding you to turn over to News Channel 8. That was actually an ad-libbed moment. It was one of those things we just said, hey, what if we did this? And it took off. So sometimes things work, and so we appreciate you guys watching. Certainly, it is great to be here today, and thank you again for allowing me to take part with this today. And Sean, thank you for that great introduction. I appreciate that. We'd ask right now if you would please stand at this time for the presentation of the colors by the Civil Air Patrol College Park Squadron, and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by the Annandale Singers.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you to the Civil Air Patrol Color Guard and to the Annandale Singers. We look forward to hearing from the choir again later in the program. And certainly, again, thank you to all of us, all of you, for joining us today here at the DEA National Red Ribbon Rally. Once again, I'm honored to be here with you today and take part in this important program to celebrate Red Ribbon Week, which is an annual event to promote living drug-free. I'd like to welcome all of our program participants, guests from other federal government agencies and the military, DEA's National Drug Abuse Prevention Partners, and you, the DEA employees, as well to this program. A special welcome to the students and staff from Alexandria Country Day School sitting here in the front. Glad you guys can be with us today. And to everyone as well who is viewing the webcast of this program today, we'll say hi to you up there. They can't see you, but I can see you, so I'm going to wave like this. We want you to feel like you're right here sitting next to us. We'll serve some coffee later. To those of you at home, not really. We have an exciting program for you, so certainly let's get started. This week and through the end of the month, there will be Red Ribbon events going on all around the country. In every DEA field division, DEA employees will be taking part in Red Ribbon programs in schools and in our community. Let's watch a video right now about the history of Red Ribbon Week and how it is celebrated around the country.
Like many hugely positive things, Red Ribbon Week grew out of something profoundly negative: the savage murder of Enrique Kiki Camarena, a Drug Enforcement Administration special agent. On February 7, 1985, Enrique Kiki Camarena Salazar had been kidnapped by drug dealers, never to be seen alive again. For his kidnappers, the story was to end there. However, for his family, friends, and a grateful nation, it was only the beginning. They pledged to not let his legacy fade and his sacrifice be in vain. Across the country, citizens wore and displayed red ribbons, not only in memory of Special Agent Camarena, but for all those whose lives were lost trying to free the nation from drugs. Beyond that, the red ribbons symbolized the development of an attitude of intolerance regarding the use of drugs. In a 1988 proclamation, Congress established Red Ribbon Week to commemorate the life and work of Kiki and to show intolerance for drugs in our schools, workplaces, and communities.
Hello to everyone in the DEA family. My name is Enrique Camarena. I am the oldest son of Enrique Kiki Camarena. As many of you know, he's the inspiration for Red Ribbon Week. And my mother and I keep speaking about Red Ribbon Week and about my dad every year to schools and community groups around the nation. And we just wanted to send a heartfelt thank you to you for celebrating Red Ribbon Week, for keeping it alive all these years. And it's a great honor for us to educate the young people of America regarding the dangers of drugs. And it's the added benefit for us to keep his memory alive. And so we tell the story about what happened to him, the dangers that he faced, the sacrifice that he made. And we just thank you for helping us in and participating with us in honoring him with Red Ribbon Week. I think it's important for people to know not only about the dangers of drugs, obviously, but about his life and why he inspired so many to start Red Ribbon Week and to keep Red Ribbon Week going for over 30 years. Thank you for celebrating Red Ribbon Week.
I pledge to stay in school. And learn the things that I need to know. I pledge to make the world a better place. For kids like me to grow. I pledge to keep my dreams alive. And be in all I ourselves drug-free. Great job. Give yourselves a round of applause.
I will tell you, as the father of two teenagers, on behalf of parents everywhere, thank you to the DEA for the programs that you put on every week, every month, every year to, again, keep our kids safe and to forward that message of, again, no drugs. You know, it's great to see Judge Camarena in that video, that he continues to carry on his dad's legacy. And we are honored as well to have his mother, Mrs. Camarena, as our guest speaker for today. Mika Camarena, she is the widow. You saw her there in the pictures of fallen DEA Special Agent Enrique Kiki Camarena. Mika is the president and a volunteer at the Enrique Camarena Foundation. That foundation was founded to preserve and promote the sacrifice made by Special Agent Camarena, as well as all law enforcement officers who have given their lives fighting drug abuse. The Camarena Foundation also promotes drug education for youth. It is certainly great to have you here today with us. Mrs. Camarena, please join me in welcoming Mika Camarena to the stage.
Well, it is good morning. I'm thinking that it's it's afternoon for me, maybe. But it's a pleasure for me to be here once again. And more so because I've come back and returned to be with my extended family, which is DEA. It took me some time to be able to recollect my thoughts and my feelings about being still part of the Camarena family and also the DEA family. To acknowledge the DEA family was very painful for me because I wanted to find Kiki amongst you, and I couldn't. And so it was a memory for me of what had happened to him every time I stepped into a DEA office, every time I was with a DEA officer. And I've kind of got ahead of myself, but I do want to recognize Mr. Patterson, Mr. Grubb, all invited guests. This becomes very emotional to me because it's been 32 years, and so many times I'm asked, does it seem that long? When I see my children and when I see my grandchildren, it does. It has been that long. Here we are, 32 years since Kiki was taken from us. And I'm sure that most of you would agree that so much good has come out of this tragic event, so much positive. And the youth actually are the ones that remind me of it every single day, not just in October. When I see the youth doing things that can keep them away from drugs, when I see them doing positive things, when I see their leaders taking the time to care, then I can accept that Kiki is no longer here. I truly believe that Kiki would be proud because we are carrying on his mission. As his wife 32 years ago, I never, ever imagined that I would be doing what I do now. I never imagined having anything more to do with DEA other than an example, when we lived in Guadalajara, going to the U.S. consulate's home for gatherings or for our holidays. That was our family. We didn't celebrate holidays with anyone else. It was always DEA. And so when Kiki was no longer here, It was a very, very blunt emptiness. But I changed that. I changed that. I realized one day that unless I took care of myself, emotionally, spiritually, that I would not be able to take care of my boys. And so I started by doing that, taking care of myself and realizing that I could do better. Not wanting to compare myself to Kiki at all, because he was a man of his own, but by trying to do better in this new neighborhood, in this new community that I was now a part of, away from DEA, I thought to myself, I'm very, very, very grateful to DEA for doing all that they do. I'm grateful for all the good that has come out of it. I'm grateful for the positive actions taken by DEA to protect our agents. I am grateful, and I can think of one thing, is how they prepare the families before they go to other countries. In our time, in the 1980s, there was no preparation. The agent kind of prepared himself, but literally, it wasn't until he got there that he knew really what was going on. And now, when I meet young DA wives, and when I talk to other agents and they share with me what's changed, share with me all the goodness that has come out of it, it really, really brings me great joy and great pride. And some of you may think that I don't need to know that. I don't need to know these changes, but I do. I do, because I used to remember Kiki talking about what they should have, what the government should do for them, what DEA should do for them. And it wasn't that time yet. But now it is, and I guess I'm feeling the joy for him. Because when you are in a law enforcement family, you are part of that family. And if you lose your spouse, it doesn't mean that those memories go away. It doesn't mean that you stop loving them. It doesn't mean that you're alone. Talking to the young people that are here, I have to say, don't let go of your dream. Don't let go of that future that you're starting to think about. We're here to help. There are so many coalitions out there that are ready to help you. And I'm proud to say that we have a great club. We have the Elks Club that does tremendous things for our youth. There's no end to the help that the Elks Club can do for you. I'm a proud member, and I am now a proud member of the DAP program. And I can't wait to find out what else I can do to be part of this wonderful program, to be part of this awareness, more than I do now. You all have to remember that 32 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't even like getting up to speak in high school. I was too shy. And if anybody would have told me years ago that I was going to be up here, I don't know what I would have thought. You're wrong, I can't. And I guess I did say that, I can't. But I don't use that word anymore. We all can do what needs to be done. We can all do it. We can all make a tremendous amount of difference. I want to share with you that still 32 years later, I still find principals and educators that do not know the story of Red Ribbon. They do not. And I found a young student in Utah last year that went around asking, why is it that we celebrated? Why has this red ribbon stayed so long? Programs come and go at schools. This one doesn't. This little boy's greatest disappointment was that his grandpa did not even know, and he thought grandpa knew everything. Most of us do, right? And so he did the research. He did the research and he found us. And he is my friend forever. He's only 12 years old, and I will never, never forget Cole Gill. And these are the kind of children that we need to reach out to. These are the children that we're looking for, that question why we do what we do. It's not just because it's Red Day at school. It's not because it's Red Sock Day. It's not because you wear different colors. All you have to do is learn the story about Kiki, and you will know that it's not just about red. I hope that before my time is up here in this world, that schools will listen to us and they will celebrate all year long, because we do not lose our children in October. We lose them all year long, and it's a true, true shame. I feel sometimes that Kiki must say, we're not doing enough. We're still losing our youth. And I have to tell you that Red Ribbon to me is not just about Kiki. It's about all of our drug enforcement agents, all of our law enforcement agencies, because now we have many agencies that are working with DEA and other law enforcement departments. And it's all about them and their families. So it's very important for you to stay drug-free. It's very important. And now, as you all know about the opioids, it's horrible. The prescription medication is taking over. And if you think that it's just, that you're just going to try it once, you're wrong. I had a knee replacement about 4 years ago, and the doctor prescribed oxycodone. Never had I taken oxycodone before. And obviously I needed it. But then one day I said, I don't like how I'm feeling. And I stopped it, cold turkey. And I thought, I'm taking Tylenol. I had one whole day of withdrawals. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. I cried and I was angry. And I called the doctor's office, and the nurse said, well, didn't anybody tell you you weren't supposed to stop at cold turkey? No, ma'am. He says, well, take it. You'll feel better. And yes, I did feel better. But by the second day, I was already cutting it in fourths and taking a little bit at a time. Never did I imagine that I would experience that. So that's how easy it can be. Imagine what it'll do to you when there is no pain. The medication is going in there clean as can be into your body and doing a lot of damage. I loved your logo this year. Your future is key, so stay drug-free. A key can open a door right. It can also close it. So think twice. Think twice how you use that key. It's a double-edged blade. And I'm sure you've heard that saying. We must empower our young people to confront the risks and pressures that challenge them throughout their daily lives. I can say for myself, Kiki would be proud, but he'd also say, don't give up. Don't give up. Cherish your lives, for mine is gone. Thank you so much.
Mika, thank you for your heartfelt remarks. It's an honor to have you here, and you inspire all of us. Thank you. We do appreciate your continued leadership, commitment, and support of the Red Ribbon campaign. And the things you said, I'll always remember. I think we all will remember some things that we've heard you say today and take them with us and spread those in the community. Thank you very much. We now want to hear some remarks from the acting administrator of the DEA, Mr. Robert Patterson. Mr. Patterson was appointed as the acting administrator just recently, October 2nd, just a few weeks ago. As the acting administrator, Mr. Patterson is responsible for directing the enforcement work of the DEA. Mr. Patterson serves as the principal advisor to the Attorney General on international drug control policy and related operations of the United States. Prior to his appointment as acting administrator, Mr. Patterson was the DEA's principal deputy administrator. In that role, he served as DEA's chief operating officer, overseeing all of DEA's enforcement, intelligence, administrative, and regulatory activities worldwide. Mr. Patterson is a career special agent with DEA, having joined the agency in 1988. Please join me in welcoming Acting Administrator Patterson to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for that kind introduction, Larry. Before I start, I did want to say one thing. I've heard our national anthem in this auditorium countless times, and that to the chorus was probably the best version I've ever heard. So I'd ask everybody to give you guys a round of applause for what you did. Don't let anybody kid yourself. The last 2 weeks has only felt like a year, so it's not quite so bad. I'm pleased to join you today for DEA's National Red Ribbon Rally. Mika, thank you for your remarks and participation. This program obviously inspired by your husband, Kiki. And I'd like to say one other thing to that point. I never got to meet him personally, but rest assured that both myself and every other person, not just within DEA, but that knows this story, his spirit resides within them. It was also heartwarming to see the video message from your son, Federal Judge Camarena. His dedication to the rule of law is a tremendous testament to the integrity of your family and Kiki's legacy. To all of our community partners, many of whom are in the auditorium today, thank you for all of your help. Day in and day out, getting the message out to our youth regarding how important it is to grow up not just healthy, but drug-free. Critics will point out this country can't arrest or prosecute its way out of this problem. And that's true. Enforcement can't do this alone. There is no single solution which can solve what we face today. There are many contributing factors to the addiction crisis in our country. One of these factors is people simply making poor decisions. Decisions that negatively impact themselves, their families, and their greater communities. Addressing this problem is a huge step in reducing the impact of drug abuse. And that's why Red Ribbon is so important. It's about preventing bad decisions that lead to these devastating results. Red Ribbon symbolizes the hope that time spent on prevention today equals a brighter future tomorrow. We know the story of Kiki and how he inspired the start of Red Ribbon Week, which is now held every October. Now more than ever, we need to repeat the message of Red Ribbon, that young people need to be encouraged at every turn to choose a drug-free life. And we need to repeat this message in homes, in classrooms, in places of worship, in offices, and in community centers. Last year, more than 28 million Americans over the age of 12 were users of illicit drugs. That's roughly 1 in 10 Americans. Just among young adults between 18 and 25, that rate goes up to 1 in 4. This is unacceptable. The brave men and women of DEA in communities across the United States and in countries all over the globe are fighting hard every day to keep these destructive drugs off the streets and to bring justice to those traffickers who would seek to profit from the misery that drugs ultimately cause. But we cannot do it alone. Everyone needs to be a part of this effort. This message is particularly to the young people we have in the audience today from both Annandale High School and Alexandria Day School. You are our next generation of leaders. We in this room know the majority of you and your friends and fellow students do not use drugs. You're already making the right choices. That is the good news. But beyond that, we also need you to be more than drug-free. We need you to help others to be drug-free as well. You know, I can stand in front of students every day telling them about the dangers of drugs, but it will never have the same impact as it does when the message is delivered by a friend. It takes young people like you to pledge to be drug-free and to set an example for others. I'd add, too, that every now and then us parents learn from you. So the rare conversations that I have with my teenage son, I generally learn more than I tell him. When you leave here today, I hope you will accept the challenge to be an advocate for making good decisions. Take some of the Red Ribbon materials available here or go on and visit websites like Operation Prevention. Get smart by educating yourself and then start educating others. To those of you joining us from partner organizations, we continue to need your help to spread the word to members around the nation. And most importantly, to the DEA employees that are here today and those watching the webcast, thank you for your hard work. The sacrifices you and your families make for this noble calling of drug law enforcement. Most Americans will never appreciate the impact of your efforts. Sometimes we as individuals undersell our impact as well. But in your hearts, you all know just how important this work is. Red Ribbon isn't just about 1 week out of the year. It's about hope. Hope drawn from the legacy of Kiki and built on the everyday actions of students, educators, law enforcement, community leaders, and parents. The challenges facing American youth are daunting, and the drug epidemic never takes a day off. So, if you have a chance to add to those efforts already underway, do so. Or think about starting something new to further the cause. Take a moment to reflect on the magnitude of the problem, but understand there's always hope. With your help, things will get better. Thank you.
Mr. Patterson, thank you for your leadership on the drug issue. We appreciate that. It is now time to recognize the DEA's bookmark contest winners. The bookmark contest was established to encourage the children of DEA employees to create a drug prevention-themed bookmark. This year, DEA received 20 bookmark entries from headquarters and the field, and the Community Outreach and Prevention Support Section thanks everyone who allowed their child to enter the contest. Now, the entries were reviewed by a panel of judges for originality, creativity, and a clear drug prevention message. The winning bookmark in the grades 3 through 5 category was drawn by Nicholas Hurley, who is in the 5th grade at Hammond Elementary School in Laurel, Maryland. Nicholas, by the way, is the grandson of Patrick Hurley, who works in the graphics section in the Office of Congressional and Public Affairs. Nicholas, would you please come to the stage, and would Nicholas's family please stand? Nicholas, congratulations. In the grades 6 through 8 category, the winning bookmark was drawn by Eric Heads, who is in the 6th grade at Wickland Elementary School in Mountain House, California. Eric is the son of Hilda Heads, who works in the Modesto resident office in the San Francisco Field Division. Eric is not here with us today. Hopefully you are watching from home via the live webcast. Either way, we congratulate you. Let's give him a hand. Congratulations again to our bookmark contest winners. There are copies of the winning bookmarks in your program. DEA will also be distributing copies of the winning bookmarks through the demand reduction coordinators in the field for their local school and community events. Each year, DEA sponsors its Community Drug Prevention Awards to highlight the importance of grassroots efforts to keep our nation's communities safe and drug-free, to recognize the volunteer activities of DEA employees, and to enhance DEA's future community outreach-related programs. This year, 18 nominations from across DEA were submitted. Now, the Community Outreach and Prevention Support section thanks all of the individuals and divisions who submitted a nomination. Now, each nomination was scored by a panel of 5 judges representing DEA's Office of Intelligence, Diversion Control, Human Resources, Operations, and the field divisions. So thanks again to all the judges who took their time and careful consideration that they gave to each of these nominations. So at this time, I am pleased to announce this year's award winners. The first award goes to the Washington County Opioid Overdose Coalition in Washington, Pennsylvania, nominated by intelligence analyst Brian Dempsey from DEA's Pittsburgh District Office. Washington County, Pennsylvania was the epicenter of the start of an opioid crisis in August of 2015, when it had 28 overdoses in a 48-hour span that resulted in 3 deaths. In response to the problem, the Washington County Opioid Overdose Coalition was formed under the auspices of the Washington County District Attorney and the Executive Director of the Washington County Drug and Alcohol Commission. The coalition's education subcommittee educates individuals and families about addiction and overdose, especially those at high risk and all persons in contact with high-risk individuals and those with an opioid use disorder. The subcommittee's accomplishments include developing a protocol for all overdose survivors that's present in hospital emergency departments, collaborating with a naloxone subcommittee to create a resource card, naloxone, make that correct, sorry. My B12's gummies are wearing off, sorry. To create a resource card, got that part, and collaborating with pharmacies in Washington County to ensure individuals are discharged from emergency rooms with naloxone. Congratulations to the Washington County Opioid Overdose Coalition, and thank you for your response to the problem of opioid overdoses in Washington County. The second award goes to Brian's Hope. HOPE stands for Heroin Opiate Prevention and Education, nominated by Supervisory Special Agent Calvin Higgins Jr. from DEA's Flint, Michigan resident office. In 2013, Brian's Hope was founded by Jeannie Richards after the loss of her son Brian to a heroin overdose in 2012. The mission of Brian's Hope is to comfort those who have lost a loved one to prescription opioids and heroin, to make the community aware of the dangers of prescription opioid misuse and heroin use, and to educate the community about the signs of prescription opioid misuse and heroin use. This past year, Brian's Hope and the DEA took part in numerous presentations that educated students and the Oakland County community on the dangers of prescription opioid misuse and heroin use. Since 2016, Brian's Hope has collaborated with the medical community, a local ambulance company, and the Kaleo Pharmaceutical Company to bring training on the use of naloxone kits and distribute hundreds of kits into the community. As a result of these efforts, numerous lives have been saved. Congratulations to Brian's Hope for your life-saving efforts to educate the community about the prescription opioid and heroin problem. Each of this year's winners will receive a plaque and $1,000 to support their local drug prevention efforts in their communities. In addition to the bookmark contest and the Community Drug Prevention Awards, DEA promotes other contests and programs that support Red Ribbon Week and demonstrate that it is truly a celebration for everyone. DEA is a co-sponsor to the National Family Partnership National Red Ribbon Photo Contest, which encourages families, schools, and communities to actively spread the Red Ribbon message. NFP coordinated the first National Red Ribbon campaign celebration back in 1988, and we thank them for their continued leadership and ongoing coordination of Red Ribbon. DEA and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration co-sponsor a campus video PSA contest for colleges and universities to promote the importance of preventing illicit drug use and legal drug misuse among college students. DEA's Red Ribbon Patch Program provides Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts the opportunity to earn a patch from the DEA by taking part in anti-drug activities in support of Red Ribbon Week. To find out more about any of these contests, please visit www.getsmartaboutdrugs.com. It's real easy to go to. Or contact the Community Outreach and Prevention Support section here at DEA headquarters. Well, this has been a wonderful program, and what a special time to be here with all of you today. Today, we've been reminded of the sacrifice of DEA Special Agent Camarena. We've been inspired by Mrs. Camarena as well, and we have been challenged as well with a call to action to do more by the DEA administrator. We have seen the creativity of students who have created drug prevention-themed bookmarks to share with their friends, and we have celebrated the efforts of community coalitions who work every day to make their communities safe and drug-free. I hope that we are all motivated to spread the Red Ribbon message of hope, not just during this Red Ribbon Week, but every day and every week throughout the year. Would Acting Administrator Patterson and Mrs. Camarena please join me on the stage at this time to lead us in the drug-free pledge? And we also ask the students from Alexandria Country Day School to stand, and of course the students once again from Annandale High School who are already standing here to take the Red Ribbon Drug-Free Pledge. Following the reading of the pledge, we will have a final selection from the Annandale Singers from Annandale High School under the direction of Patrick Vaughn and accompanied by Carol Workman.
I pledge to stay in school and learn the things that I need to know. I pledge to make the world a better place for kids like me to grow. I pledge to keep my dreams alive and be all that I can be. I pledge to help others and to keep myself drug-free.
It's been a long, dark night. I've been waiting for the morning. It's been a long, hard fight. But I see a brand new day dawning. I've been looking for the sunshine. clear blue, light of a 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 clear blue, clear blue moon, I can see the light. Clear blue moon, I can see the light. Blue morning, morning
That was great. Thank you all very much. And thank you, too, for the Civil Air Patrol of College Park. We hope you've enjoyed today's Red Ribbon Rally. As I mentioned in today's opening, Red Ribbon Week is about drug prevention, education, and awareness. It's also about people taking action through their families, schools, and communities every single day. If you're interested in getting involved in your community, please contact DEA's Community Outreach section for more information and resources. There is a table out in the lobby as you leave today. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Community Outreach staff and the volunteers that helped make today's program possible. Thank you. This concludes our program. I invite you to come by and say hello to the high school kids in the training room and also to Mrs. Camarena. Thank you very much.